Hi, good day to you, Taurus. Welcome to Meenakshi Tarot. Today is the 31st of August. How the month has flown by. So, here's your reading. I must apologize for not being on time with my readings, but things have been kind of hectic in my space. I've got my eyes closed and I'm just going to be pulling out 3 runes for you guys. Remember, Taurus, this is for your sun sign, and if the reading is not resonating with you, Taurus, please remember to look at your moon sign, your Venus, or your rising signs. So we are seeing now the cards that are coming up, the runes that are coming up, is talking here about changes that some of you are most probably facing and things that you are going through. So as you are looking at all of these things that are happening in your space, you must also realize that a lot of this has got to do with maybe your destiny. Maybe it's almost like fate has come your way. Some of you might be even feeling as though you're going through a situation where like the past is not truly known to you and you don't know what the future is about. So that could make you feel a little bit insecure about yourself and your situations. But you also need to realize that your reactions actually create, in your present moment, your outcomes. So if you're going to behave in a manner that is full of conflict, or that is, full of negative energy, you need to realize that you need to bring regeneration into your existing situations. It's important that you realize that you do need to have some form of healing in your situations and not stand in the way of your progress, because you can move towards a situation of progress in your life. So you do need to be aware of this, so not staying stuck where you are at. So let's draw out some cards. First card that fell out, Page of Cups. Okay, the Page of Cups. Let's see what else comes through here for you, Taurus. So this really is not resonating with you. Look at your moon, your Venus, and your rising signs. And if you are cross-reading already, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. Okay, you've got 5 of Wands, Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, the Fool, the 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, 2 of Swords, and you have got the 8 of Wands. Lovely energy. So some of you could be in a love situation with somebody who's maybe younger than yourself, or you yourself could be the younger person in this love situation. You could also be dealing with somebody who is what you may feel, there is this expectation, but there's this flow of love, but there could have been some conflict in your love situation. So we're seeing a situation where there has been conflict in your love situation. Maybe there has been words that have been spoken that has been very hurtful words, and you need to be very mindful of that. Have you been responsible for maybe bringing out hurtful words towards somebody? You might also be facing a situation that as you're moving forward, you need to take some very careful steps, thinking about the future, not rushing into the future, but also being very much aware that you are finding yourself in a very new place, a very new dynamic energy that is flowing here. And it's almost as though some of you are having to experience these situations with joy and enthusiasm, and realizing that a new attitude is needed to see this financial change, this prosperity in your life. It's very important that you realize that you have to have the steady growth. Some of you could also be in a situation where if you can manage this growth and this change in your life, you can see yourself moving to a place where there's a lot of love, there's a lot of harmony, but also a lot of choices. And you're needing to go within yourself to have some faith with yourself with regards to what is happening, realizing that you may not have all the facts, Taurus, realizing that you need to be mindful of the words that you choose. You need to be mindful that you need to build rather than to break things down, because it's like messages that are coming forth. You may be wanting to message somebody, you may be wanting to be in touch with somebody, you may be wanting to reconnect with somebody. It could be a love situation, like I said, but also you're realizing that moving towards a love situation does require you to realize that things take time, and there are changes with things. And as you allow these changes to happen, you can allow your love cup to be full. But there has been some conflict and drama, like I said, and this most probably has put your situation in a totally new dynamic, a new energy. And you are finding yourself quite blinded with regards to where you have to be and the decisions and the choices that you need to make. Being very mindful that even when you have these new ideas for prosperity, things are in the wind, things are looking as though you need to transform yourself, you need to move forward, you need to be very mindful of the energy that you are carrying, because there's a lot of positivity here, but you do need to move away from this dynamic of conflict. Okay, let's shuffle some more cards here and see what more is it that the tarot has to offer you. Okay. Interesting start here, Taurus. Very interesting start. Okay, let's put this. I'm going to put this here. Let's turn this around. Okay, you've got 5 of Swords this time. You have got the Strength in reverse, King of Pentacles. So you've got Leo energy. You could also have other Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo people in your space. You've got 6 of Pentacles. You get 2 of Swords again. You have Justice that fell out here. You have 9 of Swords. You have got 5 of Cups. And you've got King of Cups. So this is water energy. You could have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in your chart. Or you could have these people around you. I did tell you Libra as well. So looking at all of these things that are going on in your situations, there's definitely been some kind of conflict in your recent past that you may have overcome. You may have won the conflict, but it's also left you in a state of feeling very disempowered. And it's very important that you realize that while you're feeling so disempowered about what has happened, you need to think about this very carefully. What have you done in your situation that you are feeling so disempowered in your love situation? What did you do? What did you not do? What created the situation for you to feel so disempowered in your love situation? There's definitely some kind of you maybe not being able to deal with the situation properly. You may have created unnecessary drama rather than realizing that this is a situation that you should have just retreated from. The win was more important than really anything else. And, this is something where you needed to realize that, behaving with such maybe aggressive energy was not the best course of action for you. So you are facing these situations where you need to now decide what is the best way forward for me, Taurus. What is going to work? And you need to realize that you need to be very grounded. You need to realize that you have to look at yourself as somebody, whether you're male or female, that you are somebody who brings solutions to the table. You are not somebody who is always in this negative energy. You are not somebody that is caught up with drama, with negativity. This is not the picture that you want to portray of yourself, but rather that you are somebody that can bring in this energy of justice, of love. So you need to look at this and look at what it is that is going on. You may be also looking at going through phases of extreme generosity. Some of you might be also in this place where you are experiencing this for yourself, that there is a lot of generosity, maybe time or effort, maybe yourself or someone else. And once again, it's almost as though you're not sure how to perceive this, how to look at it, and you might be misinterpreting situations that are happening, because it's almost as though you are allowing yourself to be blinded by what is happening. It's almost as though some of you maybe just be wanting things to be in a black and white and not realizing that we do have a lot of colors in the world, and you need to look at things, from somebody else's perspective, not always from the way you want it to be. And it's also like, it's like something that has happened here, Taurus, where I feel as though it's almost like a miscarriage of justice. You could be dealing with a Leo person. Like I said, you could be dealing with a Libra person, somebody with Leo or Libra in their charts. But also, you could also have this in your chart. But also there's a situation in here that has happened where it's almost as though the truth has been muddied. there's something that has happened here that has caused a lot of drama, that has been very unfair, either to yourself or to somebody else. And it's almost as though what I'm feeling, that integrity with regards to whatever this conflict situation was not upheld in this situation. Some of you could be going through this intense state of anxiety, maybe some depression, especially when it comes to love. So definitely some kind of a love situation that sees some of you really crying over spilt milk here. It's the way you handle some kind of a love situation, something that has caused you a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of drama. And you have realized that you do need to bring in this beautiful energy of the King of Cups, being calm, being collected, allowing this love energy to flow from yourself into others, allowing yourself to flow with this. So it's important that you take cognizance of what has happened here. Could have been conflicts with regards to other people's generosity or time and effort as well. It may be making you feel very confused and anxious. There could have been something where maybe your significant other was spending too much of time with somebody else, or spending too much of time helping other people and being generous with their time or with their money, and you could have been quite conflicted about it. So the situation was like a fruitless drama that happened, that you ended up just hurting yourself because, instead of allowing fairness and balance to happen here, you just brought yourself a lot of misery in this drama. So now you need to be very practical and get into this practical energy that is your energy, and think about what is your next step forward and how are you going to move forward, but also being cognizant of the fact that you have misstepped in a situation. Or maybe if it is not you, if somebody else has misstepped. I feel we must always look at ourselves first. Hold the mirror up to ourselves first before you point fingers at the next person. Sometimes we think that we are in the right. In the meantime, we keep doing the wrong things, but if we don't verbalize where we're coming from, the other person cannot understand where you're coming from. But that's communication is so important. I know my tarot readings is not like other people's tarot readings, because life is not just about lying to ourselves if we are always the innocent in everything. It's like realizing that sometimes we are the good guys and sometimes we are the bad guys, Taurus. So recognize your part that you've played in a situation, because you've done something here that has really caused you a lot of pain as well, a lot of loss. You know that you did the wrong thing, so maybe take some responsibility and own up to it. And I know people are not going to like to hear that. See, 10 of Wands. Like I said, people are not going to like to hear that. They don't want to be burdened. People don't want to be burdened, to be told that they need to take responsibility for things. And this is this energy that's coming here. You don't want to be burdened. You don't want to be seen as the bad guy. You don't want to be seen as the person that did something wrong. You know what? Be mindful. Be mindful, Taurus, that you're not becoming the person that's always wanting to cry victimhood. And even though you say, oh no, but I don't wear that cap, this card tells me differently. Okay, let's draw some more cards here. Let's draw some more cards. Let's see what else cards have to say here. 7 of Cups. The Lovers, Gemini energy. The Wheel in reverse. 5 of Swords. 6 of Pentacles again. Knight of Cups. The Chariot, Cancer energy. Knight of Wands. So yeah, you're faced with choices again. Lots of choices here lay before you, and you need to think about it. It could be with regards to a relationship. It could be a love relationship, it could be a friendship, but definitely you've had some choices that you've had to face with your situations. Maybe this relationship was a bit of a burden to you and you had to make a decision between maybe somebody and somebody else, and you chose that this relationship wasn't worth the effort and it was just a bit too dramatical for you and you didn't want to be involved in this situation. It was just too much, but you must remember something, that you need to realize that with any relationship, a certain level of maturity is required. You have to understand that growth is required, that you cannot always want to be playing the victim. You cannot always, I'm using this word quite a lot in this reading, the victim, and I don't know why it keeps coming up here. The victim. Somebody is going through something and they're feeling like they are the victim. So if it's meant for you, I hope that you do hear this reading, because you need to realize that the wheel does turn, and sometimes you could be facing a situation right now where there's a lot of negativity that's going on in your situation. Some of you need to realize that you have to be very patient. Maybe your financials are not in a good place. Maybe things are just not happening the way you had hoped to happen. And now you're finding yourself in the space of absolute anxiety and stress and drama. But you need to also understand that a lot of this is something that you have brought upon yourself. So you need to ask yourself, how am I going to change this? And also realize that by changing something, there's a lot of us that are overthinkers. We think and we think and we think. And you know what? If you need to think 10 times before you can make that decision, think it over 10 times and then make that decision, because you do need to realize that you cannot stay stuck in arguments or situations that are just a waste of your energy, your time. There's no use being in something that's just going to be for the sake of your own pride, saying, you know what, I'm going to stand my ground. I am not going to admit my wrongs. I'm not going to admit that I need to change myself, because you know what, I'm somebody who's a giver. I just keep giving and giving and giving. But you need to realize that you do need to take responsibility for yourself. Some of you could be working so much, it's almost as though you are putting in so much of effort for a greater goal, for a greater glory almost. And you need to realize that you cannot be pushing yourself to that point where you are reaching burnout. So it's important that you realize that you need to allow others to also give. You need to also be very giving of your time and your efforts. And you need to realize that, some of you may be having the situation where you do need to maybe come forward with a grand love gesture of some kind, where you need to realize that you need to open yourself up with regards to a love situation that you're wanting to move towards. You could be wanting to move towards a Cancer person. You could be wanting to move towards a Gemini person. But you need to realize, or somebody who's got this in their chart, but you need to realize that you need to take the step. It's almost as though you are in conflict between your outer self and your inner self. And you need to make this decision. You need to listen to yourself and listen to your heartbeat, the drum of your heartbeat, and realize what is going to give you that passion, that drive, what's going to inspire you to be better. Be it a friendship that has gone sour because of something that maybe yourself has done, be it a relationship that has gone sour because of something you may have done. If it is in your power to step up so that this relationship can move forward, do that. And really trust yourself, trust the momentum. Everything that we experience is a learning experience. And look at this as a learning experience. Whatever conflict happened in the past was a learning experience. And now you need to realize that you are in the space where you need to make this choice. So with this new beautiful blue moon that's out, take that step. Now is the time. Don't hesitate. Move forward. Now is the perfect time to move forward. So Taurus, hope you guys have enjoyed this reading. Please take care, and I'll see you guys again soon. Please remember to like, follow, and share. Goodbye, Taurus.